Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. A brutal ballet of blood, mud, and medieval majesty. It begins not with glory, not with the gallop of a warhorse or the triumph of a sword drawn in honor. It begins in the dirt, with mud in your boots, blood on your shirt, and the cold stare of a commoner who doesn't believe a damn word you say. Welcome to Bohemia. Welcome to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, a game that doesn't just simulate the medieval experience, it drags you by the hair into it and dares you to survive. This is no fantasy playground. There are no dragons, no magic potions for sale in every corner shop. Instead, you are Henry, a blacksmith's son, still bearing the bruises from the last time life taught him a lesson. The first 10 hours are an outright crucifixion, not figuratively, literally. You are stripped of everything. Your weapons, your status, your dignity. A single wrong move, a misstep in dialogue, or wandering into a private room gets you jailed, stabbed, or worse, shamed. And yet, it's beautiful. Not in the conventional sense, but in the raw, unfiltered, unapologetic realism that Warhorse Studios has somehow refined into a masterpiece of pain and perseverance. I've played games where you're meant to feel like a hero. This is the first game in years that made me feel like a peasant, a nobody, a stain on the edge of society's parchment. Walking into a tavern in rags and watching the barkeep recoil, not because I drew a blade, but because I smelled bad. That's not just attention to detail, that's narrative weaponized as atmosphere. Henry's journey begins with a mission so simple, it borders on mundane. Deliver a message. But this isn't Skyrim. There's no quick save before the wolves, no teleporting across maps. Before I could even reach my destination, I was ambushed. My noble companion, Lord Hans Capen, left broken, humiliated, and penniless beside me. It was then I realized what this game truly is. A medieval survival simulator wrapped in the trappings of a cinematic RPG. Every step, every choice is burdened with consequence. Want to save your progress? Find a bed you own, or chug down a bottle of Savior Snaps, a rare and expensive item that feels more valuable than a suit of armor. Want to eat? Hope your cabbage hasn't rotted. Want to fast travel? Say your prayers. You're as likely to get ambushed as you are to arrive in one piece. The realism here isn't for flavor, it's fundamental. Even your charisma depends on how clean you are. Townsfolk will judge your wounds, your filth, and your clothes. It's not just about looking good, it's about surviving perception. Bathing can be the difference between being welcomed into a noble hall or being thrown into the stocks. And oh, the stocks. Don't even think about climbing into the wrong bed. I did, once. The tomatoes flew harder than the insults. But this game, this wretched, unforgiving marvel, it grows on you. The systems begin to unfold like a tightly sealed scroll. Once I started earning groschen through legitimate labor or occasionally sticky-fingered nighttime strolls, Bohemia started to breathe. I wasn't just Henry the desperate, I was Henry the capable. I learned to talk, to fight, to read, to reason. Want to improve your strength? Wear armor and sprint until your lungs collapse. Want to persuade someone? Spend an entire day reading until your eyes bleed. That's how you grow. Not through XP bars and perk trees, but through the aching realism of time itself. And when the swordplay begins, it's no hack and slash affair. It's a chess match with blood-soaked consequences. Positioning, feinting, stamina management, every duel is a gamble with your life on the line. Unlike any modern action RPG, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 respects the blade. And if swords aren't your style, stealth, archery, or silver-tongued manipulation are all viable. There are moments where I talked my way out of a noose. Other times, my blade did the talking. But underneath the grit and grime is heart. A comedic spirit, mischievous and wild, dances just under the surface. From stealing a dead man's underpants to collecting corpse sediment for a deranged miller, the game doesn't just punish you, it entertains you. You laugh through gritted teeth. You smirk while bleeding. That's the magic of this world. And Henry? He becomes someone, not through destiny, not because he's the chosen one, but because you make him into something worthy. His transformation from a clumsy, naive blacksmith son to a fearsome force of noble cunning is earned, hour by brutal hour. I infiltrated weddings, orchestrated jailbreaks, held the line in sieges. Each moment feels pulled from history itself, dripping with the kind of drama only lived experience can provide. Technically, the game isn't perfect. There are bugs, some annoying, others almost charming in their absurdity. A noble woman once vanished mid-conversation, leaving me speaking to a ghost. But in a world this large, this alive, those glitches become part of the tapestry. And my God, is it beautiful! The grass sways, the sun bleeds through the trees, villages bustle with life. It's the kind of immersion you can't fake. You either build a world this real, or you don't. Clocking in at 115 hours, I still haven't seen everything. The main quest? Unfinished, and I don't mind. Because this isn't a game I'm trying to beat. It's a world I want to live in, to suffer in, to thrive in. In a gaming landscape drowning in frictionless hand-holding, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is a clenched fist to the jaw. A game that reminds you progress should hurt, that survival isn't guaranteed, that history, when told properly, doesn't need fantasy dragons. It has the brutality of truth. This is not a game for everyone. It demands patience. It demands pain. But if you submit to its world, if you let it chew you up and spit you out, it will reward you with one of the most powerful, grounded, and emotionally rich RPG experiences ever created. So no, this isn't just a sequel. This is a statement. A brutal, mud-caked, blood-stained love letter to a time long gone, rebate with stunning fidelity and brutal honesty. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is, without a doubt, a landmark in immersive storytelling and historical simulation. And I wouldn't want to live anywhere else.